What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Conversations Unleashed, Rising Together. Hey, I missed y'all. This is your bi-weekly power-up. You know you listen to it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, but shout out to the YouTube crew. Y'all, if you enjoy listening to it in your car or at your workout or before you're going to sleep, etc., you should check out the YouTube video as well so you can see the facial expressions. But I thank all of you because every time I release an episode, so many of you, Don and others, y'all share it. And I appreciate that, right? And I want to tell y'all before we get started that I probably underestimated the power of, I guess, what God is doing with this podcast because I found out one of my students was listening to it, a couple of them. So I'm going to take this a little bit more serious and make sure I give you all as much substance as I can. But I'm so glad that you're here. I hope that you are well. It is March. It is Monday. I hope you're feeling great and feeling good. I am currently right now in Baltimore. Last week was extremely busy. I was in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Then did a speech in Orlando, Florida, and I taught last week. And I came to Baltimore to work with Home Depot and retool your school. So it's been a pretty busy week. But this podcast today, I am going to be so vulnerable and real with you all, and I want to help you out because I think that the lesson that I'm going to share with you is going to be very impactful. All right, so tune in, turn your music up, grab your coffee, get your workout, press play on that treadmill, and let's get into it. Let's go. All right, as I adjust my Ron Clark Academy jacket that I got, baby, you see it? Y'all, someone once said that was brilliant, and I'll have my notes here, so I want to make sure I say it. Someone once said, the most important conversation you will ever have is with yourself. The most important conversation you will ever have is with yourself. And that quote really unpacks the power of what are we feeding and what are we saying to ourselves? Because we're in constant communication with ourselves. And if you have an unhealthy relationship with yourself, the things you're saying to yourself can be toxic, which therefore, building upon last time's episode, the seeds you're planting yourself are not good. And it's going to give a fruit of insecurity. It's going to give a fruit of depression. It's going to give a fruit of low self-esteem. And I know that the words we speak really do have power. And I was reflecting on it, on how to build this podcast and what to say to you. But when I really began to sit back, y'all, I began to evaluate my life, and I cannot be more adamant about this, that I know for a fact. I know everybody believes what they believe, and that's cool. But y'all, I know I would not be here if it wasn't for God. There is just no way that I've gotten to this level of success and have sustained it for so long by my own effort, because I didn't have a blueprint. I didn't have no one showing me the way on how to handle and deal with all these things. So I was reflecting about it, and I started going through different examples of, where were some moments, key moments in your life where you said and spoke something and it actually came into place? Because I think we underestimate the power of words. Words is my number one love language. If you did not know, words is my number one love language. I have cards in my book bag over there right now, or in my suitcase, of letters that my parents have written me, and cards from different educators and people encouraging me. I love words. And I want us to get into the habit of March moving forward in 2025. Watch what you're speaking, because the power is in your mouth. What are you saying and how you're positioning yourself? It starts here. It comes from the brain, and then you have to speak it. And I'm learning our words truly do have power. I have some examples for you. All right, you ready? Let's go here. 2015, such a dark moment. Such a dark moment for me. And I've referenced it before, but y'all, I don't think y'all know, here's context. When I was playing ball at Winston-Salem State University, y'all, I was so extroverted with my faith. I was so public with it. If you scroll on my Facebook, because that's the social media profile we had during that time, if you scroll to my Facebook or Twitter around 2009, I was really adamant about publicly declaring my love for God. And what happened was that divorce and me stopping playing basketball, and it was just a really rough point in time. And I remember telling my mom, and I know she'll remember this. Shout out to my mom, school counselor, right? I love you, mama. I told her, Mom, I am so glad I know who my real friends are because I know something big is about to happen. I remember saying that in 2015, y'all, because I was dealing with the divorce. I was struggling teaching inside of the school. I was trying to figure out new ways. I had majority of my friends at Winston-Salem and that I knew, my crew, they walked away from me, right? That's facts, right? I can go so much further into that, but I remember saying that. And y'all, shortly after I said that, guess what happened? The Ellen DeGeneres moment. Like it was clockwork. And I would never forget that conversation with her because my mom and I, we have incredible conversations. And I said, Mom, I just remember, I'm so glad I know who my real friends are because I know something big is about to happen. And my people that were around me then, my close circle, they're still here to this day because you cannot, it is very difficult to put and build people around you when you're at the top of the mountain and you have that trophy up because you don't really know who's there for what. The real friends and people come around when you're going through your valleys. Who's sticking with you in the trenches? Who is near you when you are having moments where you don't feel like yourself? It may be a loss of job, maybe loss of funds, it may be loss of confidence, whatever the case may be. Who are those people that are around you? Because those are your real people. And I want you to start thinking about that because that's going to connect to another point. What's another example of words, right? How powerful. Let me give you some more. I'm going to make you a believer today. Check this out. Right after the first Ellen show, one of my closest friends, Jonathan Jackson, incredible guy, made my first website and everything, my first logo. Jack had this phrase he would say that said legacy over likes. And a lot of y'all know I say it in my episodes all the time. That came from Jack. He had it on a random Twitter post. He's just a great prolific writer. And what a lot of people don't know, during that dark time for me in 2015, I cut all my notifications off on social media. My ex-wife, y'all, she was up there just saying stuff, but I didn't want to see it. And to this day, I do not have my notifications on social media. I just don't, right? And I'm telling you that because the concept legacy over likes, I've made it so much a part of my life. If you look at my followers compared, and I don't do a lot of comparison, but we're just talking about analytics, compared to other people who are on the Ellen DeGeneres show, their follower count far outweighs mine. But I never was about the likes. I was always focused on the legacy aspect. I always told myself, I want to make sure that I have more dollars than I have followers. Because there are some people that are following you or following me and they don't even like us. They're just there to see what you're going on and staying current so they can try to use something to talk about you and be messy, right? So even the concept of legacy over likes, that's a powerful statement. I say that works. Let's keep it moving, y'all, because this is getting good. Let's go to another one. How about Ellen DeGeneres the third time? The third time I went to the Ellen DeGeneres show, what a lot of people don't know is my mother, after the second time in 2017, kept saying, she's going to invite you back. She's going to invite you back, Mike. And I was like, Mom, Mom, stop. I'm just grateful to be on the show. Mike, she's going to invite you back. Y'all, I will never forget the day Ellen called. She called, I think I want to say it was 2022 or 2021. I had to do a Skype call with them. That's normal. Production teams do a Skype call with producers. Y'all, you know the crazy thing is, Ellen, I didn't go on her show until a year later. But after she called, I started joining my mom. I'm going to go back. I don't know what I'm going back for, but I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back. And y'all ended up going back to the show. Powerful words. Let's go to this point, the academic piece. I told you in the episode with Ron Clark and Mrs. Bearden about how I got in trouble not putting grades in. You can scroll that. It's like 2 episodes ago. And for me personally, I like being like a dual threat because I speak and I teach. So at some point, what I'm saying on stage, I got to be held accountable by that in the classroom. And I think the strongest thing, I think I'm a pretty decent speaker. Words I speak, let me speak that better. I'm a pretty great speaker, right? Let me do better. I'm a pretty great speaker. But one thing I do not want to do is stand on stage and be a hypocrite. And how could I be a hypocrite? Encouraging everybody else, telling them about systems and innovation, and my own kids aren't innovating or growing themselves. So with this current 6th grade crew, who I love, any 6th graders listen to this, you know Mr. Bonner loves you. That's why I'm hard on you. They showed their growth in the beginning of the year. And I'm like, y'all, we got to push. Let's GG. If you ask any 6th grader at the Ron Clark Academy when you come to the school, say, what does let's GG mean by Mr. Bonner? And what I was doing was I was speaking life to them because I wanted them to grow. Let's go and grow. That means let's go, pace, let's move, and let's grow. And y'all, I assessed them about 2 to 3 weeks ago. According to iReady, 50% is a normal good piece for growth. My kids grew 200%. 200%. Shout out to the sixth graders at the Ron Clark Academy with their reading, and we're going to push even higher. Them bad boys grew 200%, right? And I know it's not just because of me, but I had them buy in that y'all are brilliant. Like, y'all are way powerful than I was in sixth grade, and I love y'all. So let's grow. Let's make this happen. And then I put the systems in behind that. And watching it materialize with their scores has been incredible. But that's another example of that. But I want to give you one more. And let's get personal with this one about speaking words and how the power is in your mouth. I will say that the thing that probably threw me off the most when it came to the Ellen show and fame and the followers and verified accounts and all these beautiful things that God has blessed me with is I was not prepared for people. I was not prepared for how people can act and respond based on whatever it is. It could be who you know, where you teach, how much money you have, where you've spoken at, your friend circle, the organizations you're a part of. That threw me off. And there is something that I've been doing lately, and I often ask myself, why am I saying those things and why am I praying that? But lately I've been praying, God, I want you to remove anybody from around me that should not be there and put people around me that should be there. It is one of the most powerful prayers that you could ever pray, because those words, those power that are in your mouth, things begin to move. And every time I pray it, y'all, I start seeing people drop like flies. And I'm talking about, I haven't even done nothing wrong to them. I haven't disrespected them. I haven't assaulted them, etc. Not at this stage of my life, not in this healthy season of me. And just seeing people drop for no reason, not dead, but just fall away, it blew my mind. And I want you to understand the power that you have when you're speaking things. The reason why I pray that prayer is because I want to move around people I know that I can trust. I told you this before, that now when I found out somebody is a snake, I used to go cut the head off of the snake. Ruthless. I don't like betrayal. I don't like backstabbing. I don't do that. I do not do that. That if you want to see me upset and heated, play with me in that realm. I can't stand it. And now I don't cut the head off of the snake. I cut my grass so I can see where the snakes are at. So I can see who are they staying warm by, where do they feel most comfortable at, so I can know to stay away from them. And the prayer that I want you to think about, or the words in your affirmation or just intentions, is put the people around me that should be here. And I think that can be very effective as we're pushing forward in 2025. But I also have something else as well, and I want you to think about this. Be intentional with what you're speaking this year. That's what I have written down, y'all. Look, whatever you choose to speak this week, know the power is in your mouth. Listen, speak as much life as you can. Even when you can't see any positivity coming from it, speak life. Speak life. You might as well go ahead and do it, because life is already short, and sometimes you have to speak life even when you don't feel like it. And I want to be clear on that. I personally need people to understand that feelings, you can listen to them, but they are deceptive. That's why I don't lean on people that fully rely on feelings, because sometimes you can feel a certain type of way, but you still have a responsibility and goal to do. And you can tell the true leader and the discipline of a person based on how they're feeling and their ability to get the job done despite of their feelings or in spite of their feelings, right? So even if you're feeling out of it, it's good to speak life. Even if you're, I have friends that are struggling right now, and if you ask them, right, I'm on them, yo, you're great, you're incredible, you're doing an amazing job, I'm proud of you, you are brilliant, this is just a season when you get this new job, we're turning up. Like, you have to speak life to people regardless of how you're feeling. And I want you to keep that. For example, right now I'm in Baltimore. I'm not going back to Atlanta, y'all. I'm leaving Baltimore and I'm going to head and fly to Boston to meet up with my students for their 5th grade field trip. Do I feel like it? No. Is my body tired? Yes. But I know that being there is going to be powerful. And that's why I'm speaking life to myself today. Bonner, you're going to be fine when you get there. You're going to be just fine. That ambulance that's in the background right now, it ain't going to pick you up. You ain't passed out. You're going to be just fine, right? I want you to keep that in mind, okay? And this week, I want you to try it. This week, I want you to focus on whether you're feeling good or bad, speaking what you want to see. I want you to focus on speaking things that you saying things that you want to come to fruition. Right? Say things like, yeah, you're gonna be a multimillionaire. Yeah, you're gonna be the first millionaire in your family. Yes, this is gonna be the best year of ever. I'm about to walk into the best season of peace in my life. I'm gonna have the best friends around me. My students are gonna grow. My marriage is going to thrive. My friends are going to thrive. The world is gonna turn to a better place. Life is gonna stop lifing and God is gonna start guiding. Right? You gotta start saying these things this week and join me with that. Keep me accountable with that this week. Even with your students, I hope you want them to grow and stuff as well. And watch how magic will take place, y'all, because the power literally is in your mouth. It flows from your brain, and whatever you're speaking, I'm telling you, it comes to life. It comes to life. And speaking of life, I love you. I want you to have an incredible Monday and an incredible rest of the week. All right. And let me know how you enjoyed this podcast and make sure you share it with someone. All right. Take care of yourself. And I can't wait to see the beautiful things that you do. Peace.